Hello, avid readers, book nerds, and casual observers, and welcome to the read along brought to you by the Lit Round Table. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Anna, and today we're talking about The Light of the Midnight Stars by Rena Rossner. All right, part 4.
Here we are.
Here we are, the epigraph, which I have been saying incorrectly because I've been thinking of the wrong word for the last 3 parts of this. I've been trying to say epithet. It's a word I cannot say very well. And it turns out it is the wrong word.
Yep.
And epigraph is much easier to say. So I am happy that the word I'm actually looking for is epigraph. So anyway, an epigraph is the first little, it's like an inscription on a coin or statue, but it's also something that may come before a chapter or a book that sets the theme. So Rena Rossner uses epigraphs, as in she uses quotes from this Book of Solomonars, which I still have a hard time saying.
Solomonars.
Solomonars?
Like King Solomon, and just add R's to the end. Solomonars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's how they say it in the audiobook.
You waited until part 4.
I meant, well, okay. We're having lag issues. I couldn't get a word in because it would always interrupt you.
Okay.
And it just wasn't, but now the connection's better, so it's now I feel comfortable interjecting things.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Solomonars.
Solomonars. So she uses the Book of Solomonars as epigraphs, and then she also has a page long, generally, intro before we get into the actual character chapters. So, and the epigraphs are kind of important in this book. So
Yes.
The epigraph for this section was from page 3 of the Book of Solomonars.
You're close. You're close.
I was close. Verses 8 through 12. So, anyway. But the interesting thing in this epigraph is that the black mist is specifically whispering to the Duchess now, planting doubts in her mind about Hannah's validity and her intentions towards her son.
Thinks that this stuff with the black mist is all the Jews' fault because they're the ones meeting out in the forest, and that's where it comes from. And this Jewish, I don't know what the word is, magic users, witch. She's bewitched your son, and planting all of these doubts in her mind and all these nasty thoughts.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous for Hannah and her situation, even though she's not with them anymore. Still, the Duchess obviously has power over the area, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But we start over with Sarah.
Yep, back to Sarah.
She is still up to her sneaky ways. She sneaks out every night. And now that Hannah's home, she's a little frustrated because she has to share a bed with her big sister, and she's not sure how she's going to sneak out to see her boy.
Yep.
Who is a friend.
That was interesting, too. Before, when they were discussing, sneaking out and all this stuff, one of them, I think it was the Fox boy, whose name keeps escaping me. Fox boy said...
Guvriel.
Right. Guvriel keeps saying, or he said that, King Solomon only slept for 60, or no, David slept for 60 breaths a night, and that was it, or something like that. Although they said David, which took me a second to realize who they were referring to. But yes, King David. Only slept for 60 breaths a night, so you'll be fine.
Right.
Sneaking out and, sleep depriving yourself, and you're totally not going to be even more grumpy.
No, of course not.
But, yeah. And there was this... So I'm confused about this part, though, because I thought that she wasn't allowed to leave the house, right? But I must have just missed it while I was listening to the audiobook. She ends up in a situation where she's, walking down the road, and she meets Guvriel on the road, and they have this exchange. Why was she leaving the house?
before we get to that, I have one there. So like, sorry, we will get to that.
Okay.
I don't want to go too out of order.
Okay.
Because I think this other thing is really important. So she's like thinking about wanting to sneak out and then has like a flashback to one of the times, like one of the last times she snuck out to meet with him. And they're talking about how the Jews end up with their animal that they turn into or creature.
Oh, that was this chapter. Sorry, I got it mixed up with the previous chapter. I thought that already happened. Yep.
Nope, that's
you're
okay.
right.
That's what I figured it happened. So she's reading through these different like descriptions of the animals, and she reads the foxes, and she's like, "I do not understand this." And he was like, "Then you're not supposed to be a fox."
Really
'cause he
quick,
gets
all
it.
I could think about this whole time was, what does the fox say?
Oh my gosh! So
That
did
is such a
I.
throwback. Such a throwback. And
Oh,
then she's like, that doesn't mean it. What? That doesn't make any sense. And I just pictured him being like, ring, ding, 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 ding.
I love that. That's perfect. That's excellent. Great connection.
Pow, 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 pow. If you don't know about the YouTube video, what does the fox say? That maybe it's before your time or not. Just go look it up. It's fantastic.
It's a gem.
Peak like 2012 internet meme.
I'm
Wasn't it 12?
12
I thought
or
I was a senior in
13.
high school.
No, I don't think so because I was at the school working. So you would have been a freshman in college probably.
Oh, maybe you're right. I could have sworn it was senior year of high school. Oh no, that was Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
That was senior year of high school.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway,
Anyway,
what does the fox say? Great connection.
yes.
But so she's reading through these animal descriptions, and she gets to the snake, and like I think the snake calls to her, which makes sense because we've already seen her like
Yeah,
emit a snake.
the fire snake.
Yeah, but she's like, ugh, who would ever want to be a snake? Ugh. And it's like, and what fox would want to be with a snake? I think is her real, like, concern. She's like, he won't like me if I'm a snake.
He won't like me if I'm a Slytherin.
So she's like, I really want to be a fox. And he's like, well, then you should meditate on the fox and see if you can figure out what it means. And
Which
then
the fox thing was all about, like, not cheating your employees and making sure you pay people and like all this like random stuff.
yeah,
Like don't cheat people is kind of what it was. And I was like, oh, is that because the foxes have this like conception of being like tricksters
maybe,
and like thieves, so it's like trying to be like, no, don't do those things.
yeah, maybe.
That's what the fox is all about.
Yeah.
Don't avoid your trickster ways. I don't know.
Awesome.
Who knows?
I think we'll learn more about it as we go on.
Yeah.
But so the reason she is out of the house is because her mother, Ima, talks to Abba about how she needs to have an apprenticeship so that she can become a better weaver,
Oh, right.
if nothing else.
Right. She's on her way to work, basically.
Yeah. Yes. So they get her an apprenticeship at a mill. So that's where she's walking when she meets Guvriel on the road.
Mm-hmm. They have a cute little exchange. It's like a fake meet cute, so that they can at least acknowledge that they know each other.
Yes.
In that way, it does make it less dangerous for them going forward, because then if it accidentally slips out that like they have met, at least now they have something to fall back on, instead of like, oh, we meet in the woods and he teaches me magic.
In the middle of the night. Oh.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's like always a bunch of weird like accidental touching happening, and it's there's just so much tension.
Once a night, one of them accidentally touches the other one. Yeah. Lots of flirting.
Yeah.
It's very sweet. And he makes his intentions pretty clear that he wants to be by her side. Like he wants to be a part of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very excited about that.
They're both like, you're spouse material.
Yes.
And they kind of move on with that understanding that they think that each other is spouse material. So
Yes. Yes. Kind of a big deal. So
yeah, for a 13-year-old, which was confirmed in the beginning of this section that she turned 13.
yes.
So now we know how old Sarah is.
I don't know why that was so confusing between the first and second sections, but
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
anyway.
I think it probably just went over our heads.
Or we were overthinking it. It's probably
It was
more likely.
probably not as confusing as we thought that it was, is what I mean. But so yeah, Sarah's 13.
Yep.
I just don't know how much older Hannah is still, but a couple years, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anyway.
That would make sense. 15
Yeah.
ish. Yeah.
15, 16, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so next is
Even shorter
yeah, she gets like 3 paragraphs.
Levana chapter.
Yeah, and it's still and it was literally like 3 paragraphs, so I'm having a hard time remembering even what happened. But it's more Star Child stuff and more I'm the chosen one. I don't know. Like that's kind of like the vibes I get from her. Like I'm so special. I can read the stars. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. This section was a little more about the new moon, which is actually when there is no moon. And a starless night, and how like when there's no moon and no stars, it like kind of wigs her out. She gets a little nervous. She can't see
right.
the stars and
Right.
things. But yeah, you're right. She does have a very like, I'm the chosen one vibe.
Yeah.
Despite having not really done anything.
Nothing
we
but
know of.
Look at stars.
Yeah.
Typical younger sibling.
Yes, so typical.
So,
yeah.
and then we wrap it up with Hannah,
Hannah. She
which
is
was
in
also
bed.
short.
Yes. Yeah, this was a short section.
Mm-hmm.
It's at nighttime. She's in bed with Sarah, and she's like, "I really want to talk to my sister about everything that happened." Which is like the most sisterly they've ever acted towards each other.
Yeah, talking about boys when they should be sleeping, when the lights are off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. And she can tell that something with Sarah has changed. Like she's noticing like, oh, my sister's like experienced something, but I don't really know how because she's been stuck inside this whole time.
Yeah. Like something has changed since I was gone.
Yes. And Sarah can also tell that Hannah loves Jacob because while they're talking about him and her experience, Sarah like point blank asks her, "Do you love him?" And Hannah's like, "Whoa."
Well, it wasn't even a question. She just said, "You love him." Like it was a statement.
Yeah.
And then Hannah was like, "That's weird. How would she know?"
Because Sarah's also got a boy.
Because of Guvriel, Fox
Yes.
Boy.
Fox Boy. I'm very nervous about Fox Boy. I think something not good is going to happen, but we'll see.
I think she's gonna light Fox Boy on fire.
Ooh.
It's gonna be like the things where you tie a torch to a fox's tail and they run around and
Oh no.
I don't know,
I
and they
hate
burn
that.
they burn the field down. Yeah. No, I have no
Oh.
idea. I'm just trying to freak you out now.
Huh. Well, we will see. We will see, won't we?
Because I feel like when a person is in fox form, they would be a little more susceptible to or is he a super fox when he's in fox form or just a normal fox? Because like a human could survive being kicked in the gut by another human, but a fox getting kicked in the gut by a human, you know what I mean? Like physical endurance.
Yeah, I don't know.
They
These are
probably
good
run
questions.
faster.
For sure.
But
And get
anyway,
into smaller spaces.
yeah, and do sneaky fox things. But they always pay their employees. Anyway, so yeah, that was they were gossiping at night about boys. Although Sarah does not talk about Fox Boy.
Not at all.
Nope.
I think it's probably wise. I'm thinking Hannah would
Yeah.
be like, "This is a bad idea. You should stop meeting this boy."
She
in
would
the woods at night."
100% rat Sarah out to mom and dad. Typical older sibling move. So,
I kept secrets for you.
what?
What?
I wasn't talking about you. Pfft,
I was
you
never
talking
talking
about?
about you either.
yeah. Older sibling totally wouldn't throw a younger sibling under the bus for brownie points. Or vice versa, to be fair. Would never happen.
I think
That's
if you
never happened. I said vice versa.
I know. I'm just thinking. Anyway. Yeah, so for next week, let me pull out my book here.
So for the next section,
Yeah.
read through the next 2 sister
actually,
cycles.
it's 3. 1.
3 sister cycles.
Yes. So
You
you're going to
monster.
read, I know, until you get to the Book of Solomonars.
Yeah.
Page 47, verses 12 through 14. So once you see that, that's where you stop.
You sound a little piratey when you're saying it.
Solomonars.
Solomonars.
Because it like does something in my brain that reminds me of Menards.
Oh, like save
It has
big
like
money?
a similar
Like
sound. Yes.
Menards. Solomonars.
Yes.
Solomonards.
Yeah. Anyway,
weird.
so yeah, so you're gonna read until the Book of Solomonars, page 47, verses 12 through 14.
Okay. Read until then.
Yes.
Got it.
That's 3 sections.
Sounds good.
Okay. I just saw the last Hannah section, and
Me
we
too.
got some dangerous things coming for us, I think.
Oh, sorry. I did flip to not the last Hannah section, the first Hannah section for next week, and I know things. I know things are gonna happen.
How dare you?
Yeah, it was an accident, but I was trying to find which Hannah section I was at, and I flipped too far.
That's funny. Funny. All right.
That's what happens when you don't have chapter numbers.
Yes. Our next book, we should aspire to have chapter numbers.
We should. That should be a prereq. Like for my list, I'm
But
only
this is
going to
fun.
compile. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good having like books with different layouts. It's healthy.
Yeah.
You know, shake
I did
things
not
up a little bit.
did not know it didn't have chapter numbers. But
Right.
anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, read till then. Next week. Until then, happy reading. No, sorry,
well-
not next week. Next section. It's not next week. Next week is the podcast. Sorry, we keep doing that.
Yes.
Sorry.
You know
so
what
yeah.
we mean.
Yes. Until then, happy reading.
And we'll talk at you next time.
Later.
Bye.